You are listening to Huddling with the Herd on KYNT, a weekly recap of Yankton High School athletics. Huddling with the Herd is brought to you in part by Mount Marty University, At the Bar, FNBO, Avera, Parker Hannafin, Olson's Pest Technicians, Farmers Union Insurance, SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab, Rhonda Westland State Farm Insurance, Vision Care Associates, Explorers Credit Union, Slowy Management, Mason Schramm and the Move Group, MT&RC Smith Insurance, Triple Time Rudy's, Vision Real Estate, First Dakota National Bank, Yankton Medical Clinic, The UPS Store, Hy-Vee, First Chiropractic Centers, Pizza Ranch, and Missouri River Associates. Now, broadcasting live from KYNT Studios, it's Huddling with the Herd with KYNT Sports Director Brayden Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for Huddling with the Herd, your weekly recap of Yankton Bucks and Gazelles athletics. Got a packed show today, so we're just going to kick things off right away talking Yankton Bucks baseball here on KYNT and KYNTV. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday morning. Starting things off with Yankton baseball, like I said, the Bucks now 8-0 on the year after a sweep of Sioux Falls Roosevelt earlier this week. Looking back at Game 1, it was a 9-4 win for Yankton. Sam Goki and Easton Fieser both very impressive at the plate. 3 for 4 for Goki with 2 runs scored. He also threw 2 innings on the mound in relief, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 2 batters, no runs against Goki. Easton Fieser also impressed at the plate, 2 for 3. A pair of runs scored, 3 RBIs, including a 2-run home run, which scored himself and Goki over the center field fence. Ryan Turner got the win on the mound. He threw 3 1/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, but only one of them was earned and had 3 strikeouts. In Game 2, it was Goki and Fieser again starring at the plate. Goki went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a run scored. Easton Fieser 2 for 3, scored 3 runs and drove in another. Gavin Johnson and Caden Hunoff both an RBI each. Both had 2 RBIs each. Boston Frick got the win on the mound. He threw 4 innings in the start, gave up 4 hits, no runs, and 3 strikeouts. Beck Reichen shut things down in the 5th inning, which ended up being the final inning in the 10-0 win. 1 inning pitch, no hits, 2 strikeouts. At the plate, Reichen had drawn a walk and scored a run. The Bucks are back in action tomorrow against Mitchell. Those games originally scheduled for today, but moved to tomorrow. The weather's going to be a little nicer tomorrow. Game 1 at 2 p.m. with Game 2 to follow. Pre-game coverage here on KYNT and KYNTV begins at 1:15. We have the post-game coach interview with head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks from earlier this week, that doubleheader sweep over Sioux Falls Roosevelt. When we make reference to Saturday, we're talking about tomorrow's games, as this interview was recorded before those games were moved. So here's that post-game interview now with head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks here on Huddling with the Herd.
It's an impressive pair of games and a couple more wins. Now 8-0 on the season. Your bats really came alive there late in game number 2, but effective play in all facets throughout tonight. How are you feeling coming out of the dugout after a couple wins?
Oh, yeah, it feels good. I don't know if I expected us to be able to come out and hit the way we did and score as many runs as the way we did. So it's great to see. There was a couple of big spots in the game. I know what the scores ended up, but there was a couple of big spots in the game where we got through them. And if we didn't, things could have been different. So our boys played really well, pitched really well, played really good defense.
Starting on offense, I feel like we got to talk about Easton Fieser. Obviously, people are going to talk about basically straight away center field, putting it over the wall here at Riverside. First home run of the season for him and your team. But he is swinging the bat, probably one of the best in the entire state right now across Class A, I got to say.
Yeah, I think it looks like a beach ball to him. It's big, and he's got a really good eye right now too, and he's hitting the ball really well, which is good because we got a couple guys that aren't, which is fine. They'll be fine. They'll be able to figure it out. And Fieser's, got a lot of RBI on the year and is doing a great job. Like I said up here on the last broadcast, he probably has swung at more balls in practice than anyone you've ever met in your life. So I'm glad it's paying off.
Looking at just a rundown of both the games. We'll start in game one. Ryan Turner gets the start today. First varsity start of his career, I believe, and pitched fairly well. 3 1/3 innings pitched. Did get into a couple trouble spots, but kept it clean. Couple strikeouts for him. I was fairly impressed for a first appearance.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. The first time being out here on a varsity game, first varsity win. And one of the things I talked to the group about was Ryan's job to do to get out of that first inning. If that run scores in the first inning in game one, it could be a completely different ball game. They had a runner at third, 2 outs, and we got out of it. But Ryan competed. He threw strikes. He was around the zone. He worked fast. He did a really good job and did what we needed him to.
Game number 2, start goes to Boston Frick. He pitched 4 innings of 4-hit ball, no runs allowed, couple strikeouts for him, and threw 67 pitches. So I'm always fuzzy on the day rules. I don't know if he'd be available this weekend, but that is still, early season workload for him. Not as many as the top end you might see on a day. But I thought he pitched well. And then in both games, you bring in Beck Reichen to shut things down in game number 2. Sam Goki shuts things down in game 1. Jackson Kudera in between Goki and Turner in that first game as well pitched well. So yeah. I feel like top to bottom, your pitchers did a great job tonight.
Yeah, Boston did a really good job. He just started a game on Saturday. We got him out early. He only threw like 40 pitches because we had a comfortable lead. He didn't give up a hit on Saturday, and we still took him out after 3 innings because we were planning to throw him here. And so we extended him a little bit more. So we'll give him a break here for a little bit. He probably doesn't need it, but I think he might need a little bit of a one. Kudera came in, did a good job. And, we know what we're going to get out of Jackson. He's going to attack the zone. We put him in a tough spot with runners on base. Probably the first time he's had that at the varsity level, so good learning experience for him. And then with Goki and Reichen, the plan is for them to start our next games against Mitchell, but if we can go out here with a little break in between where we can get them essentially like a bullpen. So they were going to be maxed out at probably 40, 45 pitches, just kind of a little taste of work and then get them out. But we needed Samuel. The way game 1 started, I didn't think we were going to do that game 1 up 8-0, and then all of a sudden Roosevelt started clawing back, and then we were in a game. But being able to have those guys like that in that situation is obviously a gift. We didn't even have to use what I would call our closer, our big guy at the end there, which is Bestie. So now we got Bestie fresh coming up for Mitchell as well.
There's a couple big games coming against Mitchell, obviously. One more question about tonight before talking about them, or just one more thing to talk about. I feel like, obviously, Mr. Fifth Inning, Sam Goki, starts and ends the inning with hits, scores a run, drives in 3, ends up being the game winner. I know that one could have been caught out in right field, just misplayed a little bit by the outfielder, but your guy's able to run the bases very well, and Goki just another great piece of hitting for him.
Yeah, we like Samuel, so I'm glad he's on our team. I'm glad he's with us. So, but yeah, I didn't even think that he had the first and last hit that inning. I didn't even put that together until he said it. But yeah, we ran the bases well today. So good job by our guys.
And then obviously coming up against Mitchell, I know coming into today when I looked at the Class A standings, they were the number 1 team in the class. Still early season. They only played a couple Class A games, but that's a big matchup coming up. Obviously, you guys 8-0 now on the year, trying to continue an undefeated run to start the season. So what are you expecting there against Mitchell this weekend?
Looks like Mitchell's pretty good. You never know what you're going to get when seniors graduate from other teams. I know what we're going to get, obviously, but looks like they're playing well. They had a couple of wins against Pierre, and we had some close games with Pierre, so I'm anticipating there'll be some good games.
That was head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks. That post-game coach interview came from Tuesday's doubleheader sweep over Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Bucks back in action tomorrow, hosting Mitchell for a doubleheader. Game 1 at 2 p.m., or Game 2 to follow. Pre-game coverage right here on KYNT and on KYN-TV begins at 1:15. It'll be myself and Josh Bolter on the call for that one. We're going to take our first break here of Huddling with the Herd. When we come back, we're going to talk Yankton Gazelle softball and Yankton track and field, as I had a lengthy conversation with one of the coaches for track and field, and Justin Olson. So we got some time for that coming up here on KYNT, KYN-TV. This is Huddling with the Herd. We're back after this.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes What if your next big adventure isn't somewhere out there, but already waiting for you at home? That kitchen remodel, a new addition, or that dream family getaway? Your home's equity can fuel it all. With a fixed-rate home equity loan from Explorers Credit Union, turn what you've built into where you're going next. Explorers Credit Union. We believe in helping you launch your next big adventure. Call 800-491-4309 and speak with a loan officer today. Explorers Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
At Mount Marty University, students get real support and real opportunities.
Hi, I'm Maya, and I'm a business major at Mount Marty University. The professors here at Mount Marty are just amazing. They're very good about supporting me through future internships and jobs that they try and line me up with, and they also provide real life experiences in the classroom through projects and speakers and things like that.
Start your journey online at mountmarty.edu.
Spring is here and the games are just getting started. From baseball season in full swing to NHL and even golf, At the Bar has it all on. Add in local matchups and more, and there's always a game worth watching. With TVs everywhere and a welcoming hometown feel, it's the perfect place to kick back and enjoy the game. So bring your friends, settle in, and be part of the crowd, where every cheer feels a little louder and every moment a little better together. You can watch the game anywhere, but the real fans gather at the Bar in downtown Yankton.
Buying your first home? That's a big moment. A happy, feel-good when's the housewarming party moment. When you're ready to look for a home, start with a local FNBO mortgage lender. We're here to answer questions, personalize the experience, and share our expertise so you can focus on your search. Start your application and get pre-qualified now at fnbo.com. Your mortgage moment is just around the corner, and FNBO will be there every step. Visit our nearest branch or go to fnbo.com. FNBO is an equal housing lender.
If you want a job where your work matters, you belong at Avera. Here, we've invested in our workforce because every Avera team member drives our health ministry forward, making a difference in lives and communities every day. We offer competitive pay, great health insurance, and even career opportunities. We're putting people first, including you. Search for local job openings and apply at avera.org/careers.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you start a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine, because all these benefits begin day one. We are hiring assemblers, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day one benefits, apply today at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
Do you have a pest problem? Bed bugs, bats in the attic, termite damage, earwigs? Olson's Pest Technicians can tackle any of your pest problems. Family owned and operated with over 80 years of pest experience in South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Proven pest methods include Centricon bait stations for termites and Bicane treatments for bed bugs. Even the toughest pest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson's Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Welcome back here on KYNT and KYN-TV. This is Huddling with the Herd. Let's talk about Yankton Gazelles softball now. 3 games this week for the Gazelles. Unfortunately for Yankton, all losses to Sioux Falls Jefferson, Sioux Falls Roosevelt, and Sioux Falls Washington. Week started on Monday with a 10-0 loss to Jefferson. Isabel Sheldon and Callie Koletsky both had hits in the game, both doubled, I believe. And then Jocelyn Behrens, Kyra Churchma, and Eliza Gurney all had a hit as well. Second game of the week was a 4-0 loss to Sioux Falls Roosevelt on Tuesday, and the Gazelles only had 1 hit in that one. Kyra Churchma recording the lone hit of the game for Yankton. Reese Gary did record 3 strikeouts in the circle, but unfortunately took the loss in the end. And on Thursday, third game in 4 days for the Gazelles. They fell to Washington, Sioux Falls, Washington, 8-4. Jocelyn Behrens, though, brought her bat to the game, that is for sure. 3 for 3 with a home run for her. Kyra Churchma and Ava Gerard both had a hit and an RBI as well. Next up for the Gazelles softball program, they will host Brandon Valley on Tuesday out at Sertoma Park in Yankton. The varsity game is scheduled to begin at 6 p.m. The JV game begins at 4. But I do know that they will start the varsity game early if the JV game ends early. So get out there, out to Sertoma Park. Just get there before the JV game. Why not watch a couple games of softball here? Support the Yankton Gazelles at the varsity and sub-varsity level. This coming Tuesday, Sertoma Park, they host Brandon Valley. Their 4th straight game against a metro area team, and I think it's the 4th of 6 straight games against Sioux Falls area teams for the Yankton Gazelles. Moving on now to Yankton Track and Field. We do have an interview this week for Track and Field, giving an update on them as the Corn Palace Relays took place on Thursday. They were scheduled for today, but moved back due to the weather being a lot better on Thursday than it is today, unfortunately. Biggest story coming out of the Corn Palace Relays is Quinn Brinkman. Apologies there. Quinn cleared a school record in the high jump, clearing 5'6.5", beating Kelsey Fitzgerald's mark of 5'6" from the 2011 season. She also broke the meet record for the Corn Palace Relays, which belonged to Meadows' Megan Smith. She set it with a 5'5" back in 2001. So a couple new records there for Quinn Brinkman to lead things off. Juliet Remington won the triple jump. Berkeley Olson won the long jump. Kale Hazelhorst wins the 110-meter hurdles for the boys. And William Rounds was one of 3 boys in the boys pole vault to clear 13.6. So tying for first there, I believe, for him. So congratulations to all those Bucks and Gazelles who finished top spot. But there's a lot more great finishers, and we talked about all of them with one of the coaches for Yankton Track and Field, head coach Jeff Gross, unavailable this week. So we got a chance to speak with Justin Olson. It's now the 3rd different sport we've been able to talk to Coach Olson about this year on Huddling with the Herd. There are a few guarantees in life, and one of them is Coach Olson here on Huddling with the Herd, no matter the season. So let's go to the interview right now with him. This was recorded yesterday over the Pizza Ranch phone line. Brayden Butler here for Huddling with the Herd. Joining me over the Pizza Ranch phone line is Justin Olson, one of the coaches for Yankton Track and Field. A big week for the track program. I know Coach Gross, when I tried to get home earlier today, out of town. So, Coach Olson, I'd like to thank you for taking some time to talk to us here for Huddling with the Herd.
You know what? It's my pleasure, and I'm not gonna lie. I would rather be hanging out with Coach Gross right now because he is headed to Florida, getting on a cruise ship to see his son do some singing on the cruise ship, and that sounds a lot more fun than the weather we're having right now. So, but always taking time to celebrate our kids and talk more about the sport of track and field.
And we'll just get right into it. A rescheduled Corn Palace Relays. They were supposed to be held tomorrow. They ended up happening tomorrow as this is we're recording this today as people are hearing it. But originally scheduled for Saturday, moved back to Thursday where weather was a lot better, to say the least, and quite an impressive performance for the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, including a new school record in the high jump for Quinn Brinkman.
Absolutely, and we can definitely start there. Before we get to Quinn and her accomplishments, we want to talk about the resilience of our kids and being adaptable, and our parents. And our school system as well, our administrators and stuff like that. Because when you reschedule a meet that's on a Saturday, and all of a sudden, all right, they want us to go on Thursday. What do you think? And there's a lot of adjustments need to be made. We need to get some substitute teachers in the buildings, quickly. And hats off to everyone that made it happen. Transportation, all those guys made it happen for us to, go to, the Corn Palace Relays in Mitchell, and we did a great job, and that being our second meet of the week. So we did some good things, and Quinn, like you mentioned, Brayden, she was on the rise. She's stuck at 5'5" there, for the first few 2 or 3 meets, and she had her goal set on that that record, which is 5'6", Kelsey Fitzgerald back in 2011, 2012, and you know what? The time was right, and she had a nice jump, cleared 5'6.5", had some close shots at 5'7", but you know what? That happened all after she showed up at long jump and jumped almost 17 feet, 16.11, which placed her 4th. Then she went over to triple jump, and she jumped 35.9, and got herself a third-place finish. And then she goes and finishes up after all those jumps and breaks the school record. So the work that she put in the off season and the work she put in now, she needs to be recognized for what a great accomplishment, breaking a record that's been around for a very long time.
I know Quinn, much deserved. It was the headline coming out of the Corn Palace relays, but the jump events in general on the Gazelles side, pretty great showing for them. Someone I know you know pretty well, Berkeley Olson, wins the long jump, and then Juliet Remington wins the triple jump. So you guys kind of swept those events over there at the relays.
Yeah, and that's, it's fun. Yeah. I've been, the horizontal jump coach, for, quite some time now. And I've been blessed with a lot of gifted athletes, and they've been working hard. Berkeley is one that has been up with us since she was a 7th grader. And, she's just chasing, just going out every meet, just trying to do her very best. She's chasing that infamous 18-foot mark, that's what all, girl long jumpers want to get over. And she was right there last year at 17.11 3/4. So she's on a hot start right now, 17.8, 17.7 at this meet and winning Corn Palace, which is a great accomplishment. But, she wants more, and she's hungry for more. But we're definitely like what she's doing because, we're scoring points. And, right behind her, like I mentioned, Quinn Brinkman coming in at 4th, and Juliet Remington, our first time track ever. And didn't do middle school track, comes out. She's one of my gymnasts, in fact. And so we're getting some of those gymnasts out. And I tell you what, she is just taking control and jumping 16.8 is her best. She jumped 16.4 or 16.7 at this meet, placing 5th. And then, triple jump is going to be her thing. And her very first jump of the year ever was a 35.8 in the Huron Invite. And I tell you what, Brayden, she just is natural. And won the second to last jump in finals. She busts out a 36.3 and wins the competition amongst some really great accomplished triple jumpers from Brandon Valley. And then, of course, Quinn was there as well. But both the jumpers, those two are looking good. And there's a stockpile of other ones behind them that are there, even on the boys' side, that are stepping up and are looking to have some good year as well.
And looking to the Bucks side of things, a couple high finishers there. I saw in the paper this morning, it listed that William Rounds was 3rd in the event. When I checked the results online, he was one of 3 guys in the pole vault who cleared. I just had it here. Who cleared 13.6 on it. So I don't know if that as a tiebreaker is what dropped him to 3rd or what, but he performed very well. And then Cale Hazelhorst, one of the top times in the 110 hurdles with a 15.06 for him. So those are a couple of the leaders on the day for Yankton. But the Bucks also very impressive yesterday at the relays.
Oh, absolutely. And William's been he's been up at that 14-foot mark, and that's kind of what his goal is, to hit that 14-foot mark. And, to be honest with you, like pole vault, triple jump, high jump, shot and disc, and javelin, those are those biomechanical, events where all of a sudden you figure out just a little thing, and you don't just go from like 13.6, you go, boom, 14.6. 15-foot. That's what happened to William at the state meet. All of a sudden, something just clicked, and he, I believe he got 3rd place, and he PR'd by like a foot and a half. So Tegan LaCroix in the long jump went 20 feet 11, close to 21 feet on that side. Austin Conway had a big throw of 143 in the disc at the Corn Palace relays. So the Bucks are trending too. And I don't know if you want to get into, the sprints and the distance and stuff like that, and we can talk about, some of those guys. I'll let you lead me to wherever you want to go with everything. But, we've been, if we stay healthy, we're gaining a lot of ground personally. And then, as you know, if we gain it individually, that's going to help our team collectively. So we're very excited about what happened to the Corn Palace relays and what's in the future, what's going to happen.
You're looking at, outside of the field events, some high finishers. We'll stick with the Bucks since that we were just talking about. Like you said,
Jack Brandt placing well, 4th in the 100. Alex Swihart got 6th in the 100. Owen Eisness, a 4th place finish in the 400. So multiple guys finishing in the top 8. Tegan LaCroix, we talked about him getting in the long jump, but he also ran, I believe, on the medley relay team as well, which placed highly as well. So you guys got a lot of good sprinters and runners, distance runners, short distance runners, relay runners. Everybody was performing well out there.
Yeah, and it was fun to see that medley team. That was one of the things where we had the opportunity to, the second meet of the week, and we had the opportunity to, kind of stack this one a little bit, maybe get a good time to get us at a good heat in the Howard relays. And I tell you what, they ran great. They were about 0.3 of a second off of the first place finishers, and they stacked the relay. So it's going to be exciting here coming up. Like we mentioned, Luke Feimer ran a 2:02 half at the end of that medley to help solidify and almost caught the other runner. And then, of course, the girls medley, sorry to jump over, but since we're talking medleys, the girls medley, they got second and just barely. And so we do have those athletes. On the guy side, we're a little bit deeper. We have a little more numbers. You mentioned Jack Brandt. He had another good meet. He ran 10.9 at our home meet, which is a great run. And then he ran 22.2 at our home meet. And then he comes back and runs an 11.1 and then another 22 second 200. And so, him and Alex, kind of our anchors in the sprint side. And then Owen Eisness he's just a gamer. I mean, he's been a gamer since football and basketball. Of course, you watch the Bucks basketball team. He's all over the place, and he just has grit. You look at him, and he is just going to give you everything he has and leave it out on the track. And he did that again yesterday for us in his events too. So we're looking for even more leadership. And if we tighten that up a little bit, I tell you what, Brayden, the Bucks could be contending for some hardware, when it comes down to it.
And when you got guys like that, I know Owen was the example there, but guys who are just will give it all out there, and it seems like you got quite a few of those guys around Yankton High School who, no matter the sport, are going to go out there and give it 110. But looking at the Gazelles, I know you already brought up the medley relay squad, but relays really were the kind of the bread and butter for the Gazelles on Thursday. That medley relay, like we mentioned, the runner-up finish, that was Berkeley Olson, Avi Seiler, Rylan Jackson, and Riley Mosier. That same quartet got third in the 1600 relay, and then in the 3200 relay, Abby Johannesson, Delaney Yeomans, Kayleen Peterson, and then Rylan Jackson again finished second in that. So a lot of similar names. I know you mentioned depth is a little tighter on the girls' side, but a lot of very, very good athletes, especially in the relays yesterday.
Yeah, and, kicking it off with that 4x8 team, with Delaney, Kaylin, Abby, and Rylan, there's one person on there, and Coach Blake Savvy mentioned this in our meeting. We had a quick meeting with him after school today, and on Friday, and he mentioned Kaylin Peterson, and I know Kaylin Peterson just put in the work all winter, and she looks like a different human being, and her time just dropped, and that added to they run like 10-12, and that's like not even a second. There's like tenths away from Brandon Valley, and they ran, some of their good girls. And so those girls are grinding, and that's fun to see. Then you come back to, those girls like Avi Seiler and Riley Mosier's been putting the work, and she's been running great. Ava Hendricks is a multi-event person who's jumping and running, and so we're going to have to use everybody. I mean, Quinn even got in there and ran the 4x1 the other day because we just don't have a lot of numbers. But the girls that we have, they're quality. And we're going to ask some of these other girls that are kind of maybe not, they'll deem themselves runners to step on the track because they're talented. And the thing that I like about our group, both boys and girls, is that we ask them to do something and they're going to do it. They're not going to question it. They're going to say, hey, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And it was fun to see that happen. We do have some seventh graders that came up to help with some depth. So I guess it's fair to mention, Reina Gutierrez, Avery Wustewald, and then Delaney Yeoman's younger sister, Nora. is up running, and in the 800, Delaney came in, and she ran a really good time. She ran a 2:32, and then Nora and Avery came right behind her with a 2:34. So competition within the group, with bringing those young ones up, is not only going to provide depth, but it's going to provide that competition. And we've already seen the effects of them. And Reina Gutierrez is a sprinter, and so she'll add depth to us. And she ran a 64 open, and then she came in and subbed in for one of our girls in the 4x4, which you mentioned that placed, I believe, third. And so it's gonna be fun, and we just got to continue to trust the process and keep on getting better for sure.
I know the track and field interview usually ends up taking a little longer than the other ones. There's just so many great athletes to talk about, especially when they put on performances like they did this past week at the Corn Palace Relays. I think the only I have the list of top finishers in front of me. I think the only athlete we haven't discussed yet would be Maddie Tereshinsky, getting third in the shot put and fourth in the discus. If there's anyone else I missed, I apologize. But a lot of great performances this week for Yankton.
Yeah, and I do want to hit on Maddie a little bit. She came in kind of specializing in the discus, and then with our throwers numbers, our female thrower numbers are down as well. So coach is like, you know what? I know you can throw a shot. And she has been excelling, and it's been fun to watch her and her confidence grow. She threw 37, feet, and that's not even her best throw of the year. And, she's right up there with some of the best already. So it's fun. It's fun to see kids like that, that didn't think a shot was going to be, or an event was going to be, something good for them, and they just put in the work, and that's kind of like we mentioned before. We asked them to do something, and they're like, "Yeah, let's give it a shot," pun intended. And they're doing very well. So I'm really proud of the effort that everyone is, and of course, like you said, we're going to miss some people in there because there's a whole bunch of people that that we're skipping over. Andrew Budig is one of those kids who threw in the 50s, and that's a huge accomplishment. And that hasn't been done for a very long time at Yankton High School. So he's another one that he's a little dinged up, but we expect him to come back and help us out again. So it's a fun group, and we're just having a lot of fun with them as far as the coaches wise and stuff like that, and really fun to be around too.
I know I've taken quite a bit of your time this afternoon, Coach, but I'd like to thank you for taking time to talk about Yankton track and field, to steal from another sport we're covering this morning, calling in the bullpen a little bit, filling in for Coach Gross here on the Coaches Show. But I do appreciate your time today.
You bet. Anytime. I appreciate you guys.
That was Justin Olson of the Yankton Track and Field program talking about an impressive showing for Yankton at the Corn Palace Relays. Congratulations again to all the Bucks and Gazelles who performed well and who competed this week. And, of course, Quinn Brinkman, a new school record in the high jump, 5.6.5 for her. Just a very impressive performance. One of multiple impressive performances for her early on in the season. We're going to go back to break. When we come back, we're talking about Yankton Bucks tennis. We'll hear from head coach Ryan Haig, and also the season opener for Yankton Gazelles golf took place this week. We'll talk about that as well. That's coming up when we come back. You're listening to Huddling with the Herd, KYNT, KYNTV.
In nearly every family's lineage, there's a tie to agriculture. It's a legacy reflected in how we raise our kids, help our neighbors, and respect what we have. Farmers Union Insurance was built on that legacy. And while our roots are in agriculture, our protection has grown to include home, auto, business, health, and life. Protect your legacy. Farmers Union Insurance.
If you've been suffering from chronic pain or a recent injury, check us out, Lane, Reed, and Cole Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of treatments and techniques, including dry needling, cupping, chiropractic adjustments, and sports rehabilitation.
Our mission is to ensure an individualized and efficient treatment plan to get you back on your feet.
From ankle sprains and sports injuries to neck pain and headaches, we've got your back.
Give us a call or book an appointment on our website. SWAT Chiropractic, specialized wellness and therapy.
Located on Summit Street across from the high school. When you make the right decision, it feels good. Like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision too. That's why State Farm agent Rhonda Westland is right here in Yankton to help you select the right protection at the right price. Rhonda will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm agent Rhonda Westland, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call her. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. We offer expertise and experience, where your long-term eye care is our concern. State-of-the-art technology, where we never lose sight of quality. Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
What if your next big adventure isn't out there on the road? What if it's already waiting right at home? That kitchen you've been dreaming of, extra room to grow, or the family trip you've pictured long ago. Your home's equity can fuel it all. When your plans become a must, Explorers Credit Union. Built steady, built for us.
Insured by NCUA. Call 800-491-4309 and put your equity to work for you today.
Having guests coming to Yankton for area graduations? Well, the two best choices are easy, the Fairfield by Marriott and the Holiday Inn Express. Enjoy comfortable rooms, free breakfast, gathering rooms, pool, and more. With graduation season coming up from Montmarty, USD, and Yankton High School, rooms are filling fast, so don't wait. Call the Fairfield by Marriott or the Holiday Inn Express in Yankton to lock in great rates and stress-free reservation changes.
Buying a home isn't just about real estate. It's about investing in yourself. At the Move Group, we believe the best time to buy is when it makes sense for you. Our expert agents put people before transactions, meaning we listen first, provide honest guidance, and help you make a confident decision. No pressure, no gimmicks. Markets change, but the right home is about more than just numbers. It's about finding the right fit for your life and your future. When you're ready, we're here to help. Contact the Move Group today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
There's a difference when a convenience store is locally owned, and you feel it the moment you stop at Triple Time Rudy's. You'll get great quality fuel to keep you on the move, plus local and regional favorites like Dimmick Cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner Lockers. It's the kind of place that's convenient and connected to your community. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway, Triple Time Rudy's, fueling your day, fueling your community.
Hi, I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate. If you're thinking of selling your home, let's start with a full market analysis so you can understand our local market trends and know what to expect. Let me handle the details so you can focus on your next adventure. When it's time to move, pack those Vision boxes and hook up to our courtesy trailer. Call me, Deb Speck, at 605-664-5555.
Welcome back here on Huddling with the Herd, KYNT and KYNTV. We've talked about Yankton Bucks baseball. We've talked about Bucks and Gazelles track and field. We talked about Gazelles softball. Now it's time to open the season for Yankton Gazelles golf. Their first event of the year. They were the last spring sports to get underway. They competed on Thursday at the Harrisburg Invitational Girls Golf Tournament at Spring Creek Golf Course. We'll get there eventually. Spring Creek Golf Course. Aberdeen Central won the team title that day, shooting 304. O'Gorman was second with a 321. Mitchell was third, and Brandon Valley was fourth. Yankton finished sixth as a team at the event. They shot 348 as a team. Everly Bruning shot an 87. Yankton was led by Elia Homestead, who was second at 1 over with a 72. Jocelyn Elwood shot a 94. Sabrina Kraske shot 95. Olivia Woods a 96. And Harper Anderson a 98. Bailey Anderson for Yankton competed individually, so unattached for the Gazelles. She shot an 86 as well. The Gazelles have their home opener on Tuesday, as they will host Brandon Valley, Brookings, and Harrisburg. No Flight 1 singles or doubles matches were contested on Tuesday between O'Gorman and Yankton. The Bucks did bounce back on Friday. They took 17 of 18 matches played. They defeated Huron 8-1. Harrison Kraske, Luke Moeller, Ethan Marsh, Jack Pedersen, and Zane Becker all winning in singles play. The Bucks would go on to sweep the doubles matches against Huron. And then, of course, a 9-0 sweep to end things over Aberdeen Central. Up next for the Bucks tennis program is a home duel with Sioux Falls, Washington on Tuesday at 4 p.m. But before we close the book on tennis for this week, got an interview with head coach Ryan Haig of the Yankton Bucks, talking about his program. Very senior heavy this year. A lot of experience on the court for his Yankton Bucks. So let's go to that interview now here on KYNT and KYN-TV. Brayden Butler here for Huddling with the Herd. Joining me over the Pizza Ranch phone line is Coach Ryan Haig of the Yankton Bucks tennis program. Coach Haig, first time we've been able to talk this spring season, and your Bucks are off to a very good start, 12-2, I believe, in dual play against other teams. So you guys are rolling here early in the season. Just how are you doing today, and how are you feeling here as the team's gotten going here early in the year?
Yeah, we're off and running, and once you start playing matches, it's fast and furious. So we just got done with a triangular in Huron, and a little bit cold and breezy here today. So we're going to do some workouts in the resting room. But all in all, very pleased with the start that the team has had. We're a very experienced team this year. We're led by a number of seniors, starting at the top with Harrison Kraske, followed by Luke Moeller and Chris Rockney. And then at number 4, we have Ethan Marsh, and at 5 we have Jack Pedersen, all of which are seniors. So all those guys have varsity experience under their belt. Jack is coming back for his senior season after running track for a couple years. With the experience that we have, it's no surprise that we're off to the start that we had, and the young guys are soaking up the knowledge and experience that those seniors have, and they're going to be getting their chance on the court here for sure next season, with a lot of holes that are going to be created from graduations. So great start to the season. We jumped into a tournament in Rapid City early in the year with 5 duels, and we're able to come away 5-0 after the weekend. Followed that up with a triangular here at home with Vermilion and Sioux City Heelan. And then Brandon Valley came to town, and kind of, give them credit. They kind of punched us in the mouth a little bit. So they handed us our first loss, which I told the guys, if there's time for a loss, it's early in the season. You can learn from that, build upon that, and then use that the next time we may see that opponent. So we're hoping to have a little bit stronger showing next time we bump into Brandon Valley for sure. And, we ran into a very tough O'Gorman team here just earlier this week, who, between them and Harrisburg, I believe are the 2 favorites in Class AA this year to win a state title. And, they flexed their muscles on us a little bit and, really showed us what the top programs, how the top programs play. So we learned from that as well and took that to Huron, where we played, ESD opponents, Huron and Aberdeen Central, and I thought played very, very well and came away with a couple nice wins. So great start to the season. Definitely not where we want to be for postseason time, but we've got some time to, polish things a little bit before we get there.
And I know there's a lot to obviously cover right there, given the season as a whole. Just talking about your most recent triangular, though, it was an early morning up in Huron. I think matches on the website said they started at 9:30 a.m. You only drop one head-to-head match over the course of those 2 duels with Huron and Aberdeen Central. So just how was that for maybe a little more in-depth for people at home?
Yeah, we got up early. We got on the road at 6 a.m. You never know how the guys are going to respond when they're, kind of out of their routine, out of their rhythm. But again, we are so experienced that, there's not a lot you can throw at these guys that they haven't seen or been part of before. So they responded very, very well. We got to Huron, We got a good warm-up in, and we stepped on court against a little bit less experienced Huron team, no doubt. And those guys, though, those kids up there in Huron love to play tennis, and they're always a very dangerous team, not to mention it is an ESD opponent. So, yeah, we did very, very well. I think we won all of our matches. We lost at number 3 singles in a close match. Chris Rockney will be looking forward to that rematch here postseason time. There's no doubt about that. And, I thought our doubles play, was a little bit better. Our 2 doubles with Chris Rockney and Ethan Marsh is an area that we're focusing on. They are playing together for the first time this year together. And so, we're looking for a little bit stronger play, and I think we got that out of those 2 guys here over this past couple of outings. We've also had to make a change down at the bottom at 3 doubles. We've inserted Gage Becker along with Jack Pedersen at the 3 doubles, and it was their first time playing together in Huron, and I thought they responded very, very well. Gage Becker, for a freshman, has a little bit to learn on the double side. Very experienced singles player, but that doesn't always translate or correlate to doubles play. So Zane absorb a lot very, very.
Go to Moorhead Concordia in Moorhead, Minnesota, continue his tennis career. So just anything, talk about him a little bit as he's wrapping up his senior season this year.
Yeah, Luke is one of those guys that, tennis definitely was not his number one sport, when he started playing. But it's one of those things that, tennis is a contagious sport. And when you catch the fire and when you catch the love for the sport like Luke has, anything is possible. And he's really worked at his game. He's really worked at his trade and really improved over the last number of years. And his love for the game has, given him an interest to, give it a shot at the next level. And thanks to the coaches up there at Concordia that to give him that opportunity. And anytime you have a player, taking their talents to the next level, you're just very, very excited for those guys. And last year it was Gage Becker. I'm sorry, last year it was Zach Briggs, and a couple years before him it was Gage Becker. And so, we've had a few tennis signings going to the next level here in the past several years, and all those guys are performing very well at the next level, and we would expect the same out of Luke. And, he's going to get up there and have some great coaching to look forward to, and I have no doubt that the sky's the limit for Luke at the next level.
Coach, I know I've taken quite a bit of your time today. Thanks for talking to us here. Just one final question for you. Next week, you're back home on Tuesday, a head-to-head duel, so what are you expecting there with getting back on your home courts?
Yeah, come back to the home court. It's going to be our senior day, so we've got a number of seniors to recognize. And those guys have, each one of them has their own contributions to the team over the last number of years. So, we want our team out there supporting those seniors and bidding those guys farewell as they play their final competitive matches on their own home court. So, should be a fun day of tennis. Sioux Falls, Washington will be, tough at the top of the lineup, a little bit less experienced at the bottom of the lineup. And so we hope to send these seniors off with a big W here at Yankton High School courts on Tuesday.
Coach, thanks again for taking time to talk today here for Huddling with the Herd. Good luck to your guys on Tuesday and the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was head coach Ryan Haig of the Yankton Bucks tennis program here on KYNT and KYN-TV. We're going to go back to break, our final break here on Huddling with the Herd this Saturday morning. When we return, we're going to have YHS Nation. Annie is being performed. I'm trying to find the right word for it. My brain, a little bit of brain fog this morning. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but Annie underway. The performance is underway at Yankton High School starting on Thursday. We're going to talk a little bit about that for YHS Nation today. Jeff Erickson this week was able to do some interviews for the performance ahead of the performances that are taking place this weekend. So that's coming up in a couple minutes here on KYNT and KYN-TV. You're listening to Huddling with the Herd.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Life doesn't slow down for injuries, and neither should your care. With Yankton Medical Clinic Orthopedic Walk-In Care, you can be seen quickly, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. No referrals, no long waits, just experienced, highly trained surgeons ready to help you heal and get back to what you love. And because we live right here in Yankton, your care stays close to home. I'm Dr. Jeremy Kudera, orthopedic surgeon with Yankton Medical Clinic. I'm proud to call Yankton home. We're your orthopedic team, and we're here for you.
Recently, a woman came into the UPS store to make some color copies for a project. As we were finishing up, she asked if we could help her design and print graduation announcements for her daughter. The answer? Of course we can! At the UPS store in Yankton, we've been helping families with everything from basic copies to beautifully customized graduation announcements. Come see us at the UPS store in Yankton today and let us help make your special occasions even more memorable.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
It's easy to fall into the weekend warrior routine. A long hike, a hard gym session, a pickup game, or a full day of yard work can feel productive until your body reminds you it hasn't been building up to that load. This is Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. Injuries often happen when the demand suddenly outpaces what your joints and muscles are prepared for. Want to stay active without the setbacks? Visit First Chiropractic Centers today with offices in Yankton, Hardington, Tyndall, and Wagner, inspiring and empowering others to healthier living.
Practice, meetings, errands, homework, life doesn't slow down. That's why Yankton Pizza Ranch makes dinner easy. Our buffet is hot, fresh, and ready when you are. Pizza, desserts, and the country's best chicken. When your schedule's packed but you still want something delicious, make it a buffet day at Yankton Pizza Ranch, serving daily from 11 to 8.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Ever have one of those days? Your car breaks down, your dog decides your couch is a chew toy, and oh yeah, a tree falls on your roof. Don't worry, Missouri River Associates has you covered. Auto, home, pet mishaps, we're here for all of life's little oops moments. Call 665-6885 for your free quote. Because life happens, and we're ready for it.
At Vision Care Associates, we're always improving our technology for the health of your eyes. With OptiMap dilation-free exams, you get a comprehensive view of your retina without the need for dilation eye drops. It's quick, easy, and best of all, it keeps your day interruption-free. OptiMap captures a detailed image of your eye, helping to detect any problems. No blurriness, no discomfort, just clear, precise results. Book your OptiMap exam now.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Welcome back in here on KYNT and KYN-TV. This is Huddling with the Herd, and it's time for YHS Nation, your weekly look at an activity or event around Yankton High School outside of the athletic sphere. This week we're talking about Annie, the play production happening this weekend. Opening night was Thursday, had another showing last night. They got another one tonight at 7, and then Monday at 7. But let's just get right into YHS Nation here. Dave Lesher kind of taking things over this week, and then Jeff Erickson is conducting the interview. So let's just go to YHS Nation now here on KYNT and KYN-TV.
This is YHS Nation on KYNT. Well, Annie is on stage at the YHS Theater. Show started on Thursday night. You can watch it tonight at 7 and also Monday night at 7 p.m. Our own Jeff Erickson went to the theater to talk to the people involved in making Annie at YHS.
We are lucky enough to have Annie with us. Is Margaret Remler, who is playing the role of Annie. Nice to meet you. I know your mom. I know that you are a theater family, aren't you?
Oh, yes. We try to stay busy. I am a freshman here. I'm actually homeschooled But I come to YHS to be a part of choir with Angela Larson, and any theater production they let me be a part of. So this year I was in the fall play and the one act and the musical.
You've been around theater your whole life as a Remmler, so you probably feel pretty at home on the stage.
I do. My mom has always been the choreographer for these since 2014. So since I was 3 years old, I've gotten to come along to rehearsals with her. So I've performed in the high school musicals for a long time now, but this is my first official time as a high schooler. So it's really awesome to be here.
And it's a big production, and it's a big role with probably some certain expectations. Tell me how you're feeling about Annie and how things are coming together here.
Yeah, I've never really had such a big role, but I think I've always been ready. And I've worked really hard, and I'm just really excited to share this show with people. I think it's going to be awesome.
What do you think people are going to like about the YHS production of Annie?
Oh, well, we have a live dog, Buddy Larson, and he is doing amazing. And I think it's really impressive what we put together with this cast.
Who are some of your fellow castmates that you're working with that have some of the major roles in this?
Well, I spend a lot of my rehearsals with Nate Barnes playing Daddy Warbucks and Addison Putoff playing Grace. And by the end, they kind of become like my parents, and we are just a fun little family at rehearsals. It's just been so fun to get to know them better.
I know you're still pretty young and just a freshman age, but have you started to think about down the road what maybe you want to do in life and how theater plays a part in that?
Yeah, I've pretty much always known I want to do musical theater. So that's part of my homeschooling, actually, is I learn a lot from the theater I'm in, and I'm always researching different productions of things, and I'm just trying to get as much experience as I can young.
Anybody that you maybe want to shout out to or say hello that might be listening in?
My sister actually is on tour with the Theater 605 Dakota Players right now, and she's all over South Dakota. So she's not able to see this show, which is really sad because we've been in all these musicals together, but she's really happy for me, and I'm really excited for her to keep this job going. And
Margaret, thanks for the time. Best wishes in your production of Annie, and I hope things go really well and you have a good time.
Thank you.
Angela Larson is joining us. She is involved as one of the directors in this production. First, though, I'm going to give you a chance to shout out, oh, here comes Buddy the dog, interrupting our interview. Why is there a dog at the theater?
Well, Buddy Larson is playing Annie's orphaned dog, Sandy, so she discovers him in the play, and we're using a real dog. So far, he's probably about 75% on doing what he's supposed to do, exactly.
You'll get there. The choir and the band and the orchestra just did really well at a competition. Let's give them a little love in this interview.
Yes, they did. They went over to Vermilion for our region large group contest where they perform for judges and get ratings and feedback. And the high school bands, both of them got superiors. The 3 choirs went, and 2 received superior and 1 received excellent. And then our orchestra also received an excellent. So a great day for the music department.
Great time for fine arts at YHS and a big production coming up. Was it a lot to tackle this one, Annie?
Kind of, but also we have a lot of really good students, and we're getting to showcase a wide variety, because even when I mentioned the band, we have a live pit in this show, and about a dozen of our high school band students are in it, and they're very good.
Another one of the directors of this production is Mr. Waltner, Colin Waltner. Now, I'm just meeting you for the first time, so I know nothing about you. What's your history here in Yankton and at YHS?
This is my first year teaching in Yankton, but it's my 21st year teaching, and yeah, I'm having a great year.
Where did you come from before in Yankton?
Previously, I was working in Scotland.
And how are things going for you here as a veteran, but also as a rookie?
I'm learning that every theater is different. I have been on stage a number of times, but this is my first time working with a high school production, especially one this big, and it's very different. There's been a little bit of a learning curve, but these kids are really, really getting after it, and I think we're going to have a great production.
What's good about Yankton Fine Arts and the Yankton Theater and the theater scene here at this school? What have you been impressed with?
I was, first of all, I was really impressed with our turnout for tryouts and things like that. And there's a number of people that weren't even really all that particularly interested in getting a speaking part or anything. They just wanted to be part of it. They wanted to be in the chorus, or they wanted to be on stage crew and things like that. And we have not had to ask any single person to join because we were short, which is a really nice thing.
What should people expect about this production of Annie coming up?
The first thing I would say is energy. Catherine Remler really put these kids through their paces as far as the choreography is concerned. The pit is really great. I think that we have a really, really good set. And yeah, the kids are responding to all of that. And it's just a really good energy show.
And what about tickets to this production? Let's talk performances and tickets. What do people need to know?
So we are putting this on April 16, 17, 18, and 20 at 7 o'clock in the high school, and they get tickets at the door. You cannot get them ahead of time.
It seems like everybody's having a good time. There's a good vibe here. Am I picking up on a good vibe?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, half of the creative team is new. The director and myself are getting back into this, and then Catherine Remler's doing the choreography, who happens to be Annie's real-life mom. And Sherry Whitehead is involved, and then our costumer is Alita Eastman, who's been involved with productions at Mount Marty. So yeah, it's a fun group. We have good kids. I have a student who simply takes care of Buddy off stage, so that's important. And a lot of kids involved with tech and building the set. So I just counted today 84 people involved with the show.
Annie will be presented tonight at 7 p.m. at the YHS Theater, and then its final performance will be on Monday evening. This is YHS Nation on KYNT Sports.
Well, that's going to wrap up YHS Nation. That's going to wrap up Huddling with the Herd this week here on KYNT and KYNTV. Go out and support Annie, the production tonight, 7 p.m., Monday at 7 p.m. as well. We'll take a look at the activities calendar for this week to wrap things up. Already talked about the spring play, Annie, tonight and Monday night, 7 p.m., both nights at the high school theater. Yankton FFA has a varsity state event at South Dakota State University in Brookings on Monday. It also goes on to Tuesday and Wednesday for them. Looking at Tuesday's schedule, Yankton Gazelles Golf has a varsity quad at Fox Run Golf Course at 10 a.m. Yankton Gazelles Softball has a varsity matchup with Brayden Valley at 6 p.m. And Bucks Tennis takes on Sioux Falls, Washington, a home match for them at 4 p.m. So a lot of home events on Tuesday for the Bucks and Gazelles. Get out there and support them if you can. Jumping ahead to Thursday now, April 23rd, Gazelles Golf back in action. Once again, a Fox Run Golf Course, another quad for them. Yankton Gazelles Softball is on the road against O'Gorman. That will take place at Sioux Falls Sherman Park at 6 p.m. that evening. And and also on Thursday, tennis has a varsity duel with Harrisburg beginning at 10 a.m. at Harrisburg High School. That is varsity, JV, and middle school all taking the trip up to Harrisburg for that one. So good luck to the Bucks there. And now rounding things out, Friday, April 24th, Gazelles softball back home, taking on Sioux Falls Lincoln, 6 p.m. first pitch for the Gazelles varsity. Also, accidentally missed this, on Thursday, April 23rd, the All Schools Orchestra concert, 7 p.m. that evening at Yankton High School. It's going to wrap up this week's edition of YHS Nation and Huddling with the Herd here on KYNT and KYNTV. Huddling with the Herd, courtesy of Explorers Credit Union. Discover the difference with them at explorerscu.com. Yankton Bucks baseball tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. first pitch, 1:15 pregame here on KYNT and KYNTV. I'll be on the call for that one alongside Josh Bolter. But until then, stay safe, be good people, and have a great weekend, everybody. This has been Huddling with the Herd. We'll talk at you later.
FM 102.1 and